Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you are watching. Sorry if my voice is a little bit hoarse. I just had a coughing fit due to an asthma attack, and then I started sneezing. So that's how the show is starting off. Let's see what's going on in the chat. All right, Tony Man says, y'all niggas crazy. I'll bust you and be Swayze. Stop acting like a baby. Mind your business, lady. Nosy people get it too. When you see me spit at you, you know I'm trying to get rid of you. Yeah, I know it's pitiful how niggas get down. Watch why niggas spit rounds. Make y'all niggas kiss ground just for talking shit, clown. Oh, you think it's funny? Then you don't know me, money. Yeah, that's DMX. I continue to read when this was coming on. Let me readjust like that. And Toyman says, I copied and pasted the lyrics from a hip hop lyrics website. That's how they posted them. Yes, I understand. Yes, I see that you don't have a black avatar, but the N word is there. But it's hip hop music. If people, I'm of the opinion, if you don't want people to sing it, don't write it in your song. That's just how I feel. But let's get into 90 Day Fiance. Let me pull up. Here we go. Put this on the screen. Oh, Faux Minky Latte is here. She says, hey, everybody. Hey, how are you this Monday? Oh, I did put it on the screen. Okay, but there it is. Excuse me again. Sorry, I had a asthma attack just before going live. Like right at 4 o'clock on the dot is when my body decided to have an asthma attack. So my voice is hoarse from coughing and trying to get to my inhaler. But we will do our best today. Okay. I'm going to get Michael and Angela out of the way because like there's no sense in waiting. And as you can see on the thumbnail, the two moments that I had to put on here were when Jovi called out Yara's friends for trying to influence her and also saying that they all got implants. It was just such a funny moment. And then when Angela and Renee toasted with their cigarettes, I've never seen anyone do that before. That was hilarious. But let's start with Angela and Michael. Michael's learning how to swim, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, it's sad that he has to learn at this late age. I think all children should learn how to swim. Tonyman says, hey, Faux Lechacha, you're keying out your hair. I don't know why the green screen is like, it's weird. It's being weird about my hair. I don't understand why it's doing that. My hair is not green, so I don't know why it's keying out my hair. But we're just gonna keep on trucking though. Matter of fact, this is what we'll do. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller and make the images bigger, and then maybe it won't be as noticeable. Um, can you hear me okay? Because I have a slightly different setup today. So hopefully everything still sounds about the same. Michael says he wants to become an influencer, or he is becoming an influencer. Tony Man says, I've seen 13-year-olds toasting immature things like those two. Yeah, well, they're smoking in the bathroom like they're teenagers and they're in their 50s. So he does speak about his friends. He speaks to his friends about Angela and about how she's mad at him for being on Instagram. But he says that he wants to be an Instagram influencer, so he's not going to let her opinion sway him on that. Tony says, loud and clear. Audio is great. Thank you. And so later, Angela and her bestie Renee arrive in Nigeria, and like I said, they have their cigarette toast in the bathroom. The classy ladies that they are. Where was I? I actually would watch a show with the two of them. If you just sent Angela and Renee places and it was just like that was the show, Angela and Renee, I would probably watch that. I feel like they're interesting, entertaining enough on their own. Although I'm not excusing Angela's abusive behavior to Michael, but he's a grown man and he is accepting this. And I don't know. Well, I know why he's accepting it. But I feel the same way about Michael as I feel about Liz. You knew who these people were for several seasons, and you continue to be with them, and you are adults. You are not children. You have the ability to leave. So I'm not going to be getting my ire up on over adults allowing themselves to be treated horribly. Thank you, Fominky Latte, for letting me know you can hear me loud and clear. Excuse the hoarseness of my voice. Later, Angela texts Michael to take down his Instagram, and he sends emojis, laughing emoji at her. So she gets in the car, and like that, her and Renee are outside Michael's place, and Renee is at the door saying, "Oh, come outside, Michael. Angela just wants to talk to you," which is not the case. And we witness Angela tearing up his car with her bare hands. Like, how did she rip that plastic? It's like a bug screen, but it's made out of plastic, and she ripped it in half with her hands. Like, I don't know what kind of Hulk strength that she has. It is wild. Oh, Tony says, let's talk about Michael's dancing and how that's how he wants to build a following. Yes, you're correct. And he's on the wrong thing. If you're going to be dancing, you need to be on TikTok, not Instagram. Why are you on Instagram dancing badly? Go on TikTok and dance badly. Fominky Latte says, oh, it's not, I didn't display it. There it goes. I know Michael want to put a restraining order on Angela now. He needs to. She's doing destruction of property, even though she says it's her car because she's paying the car note on it. It's still violence. And if the roles were reversed and it was a male tearing up a woman's property, he would be off the show already. 90 Day Fiance allows Angela to do a lot of stuff that other people would not. Like that little lady from Russia that was saying the racist stuff online. What she said was nasty, and I don't agree with it. And she's a little racist ass. But is what Angela doing any better? I don't think so. And the last note I wrote was, imagine being in your 50s and doing this teenage-ish. Imagine being in your 50s and showing up at a guy's house to tear up his car. Like, I'm in my 40s and I couldn't imagine doing that. Let alone 50s. No way. So let's go to Elizabeth and Andre, who were barely in this episode. We got more of Libby's family than we got of actually Libby and Andre. They had a very short conversation with Andre's dad, again, talking about how they weren't going to go to Libby's mother's birthday party. What was her mother's name? Pamela. And Pamela also might have a drinking issue because she doesn't remember saying the things that she said, or she's pretending like she doesn't remember saying the things that she said. Tony says, also, Angela's friend annoyed me. Stay out of their business. Oh, she's only there to be in their business. I wrote my notes. Charlie, the foot lady, and the kids show up. That's at Pamela's birthday party. I have one screen capture of the family around the table discussing. Even when Andre is not there, they make him the scapegoat goat for their family's dysfunction, and it's really not cool. And I also don't think that they should be having this type of conversation in front of their children. And the children were very, very interested in this conversation too. But it's really not. I don't think it's appropriate to, especially when I think this one is Jen and Becky, or is that one Jen and that one's Becky? I forget which is which. Oh, I'm pointing and you guys can't see what I'm pointing to. I don't know if this one is Jen and this one is Becky, or this one is Becky and this one is Jen, or vice versa. I don't know. But this one over here said that she alluded to the fact that, oh, well, maybe if we continue like this, we'll never see our sister again. And that's really, I mean, it's hyperbolic. That's number one. It is dramatic, and it's not right to say in front of these young, like this child right here may be a teenager. She may be 12. It's hard for me to tell. I look at kids, I don't know if they're 12 or 14. I really don't know. But she might be able to contextualize it and say, oh, my aunt is on her ish again. She's being dramatic. But these two right here they're at the age where they still believe adults probably, and they might take verbatim what their auntie is saying. So I just don't think that they should be here for this conversation. It's not fair to those children. And it's the cycle of trauma repeating itself. What else happened? Charlie is in denial about his issues. It's everyone else. It's not him. And he's never gotten drunk and flown off the handle, even though there's lots of footage of him doing exactly that. So I don't know how they do try to get him to open his eyes about it, but he still has his mom over here running interference. She's still in the not my son, type of ish, and it's not helping. Foaming Latte says, yeah, about to catch charges at her big age. And in another country on top of that. Yes, he could call the police and charge her for destruction of property, vandalism, threatening. I'm sure that's illegal. Tony says, does it really matter whose generic white woman name you call them? LOL, they both fit either name you call them. But no, but that's really their names. Their names really are Jen and Becky. I'm not saying Becky like to be like, how people call, anonymous white women Becky or Karen. Like her name really is, one of them really is named Becky. Do I have anything else? Charlie saying that no one has been canceled by their family like him, and like, you can't be canceled by your family. I'm sorry. He's using that term completely wrong. You're not canceled. You're literally sitting at a dinner table with them. So all they're doing is telling you to act right. That's not canceling you. Telling you to act right is not canceling you. And there's nothing wrong with telling you to act right, especially as a sibling. Like, if anyone should be able to tell you to act right, it should be your sibling and your parents, even as adults, But something must have gone on in his early life for him to even turn out this way. I don't know. Could be one of those, moms raise their daughters, but they love their sons type of thing. Because he does seem like the most, like, everyone, well, not everyone. Let me not be, not generalize. The majority of the adults at the table have mugshots. So I take back what I say about Charlie, but because they all have mugshots, including, I think even the mom has a mugshot. I don't know. Go back in some of my videos. I definitely did a video about all their mugshots last year or the year before last. So no one at this table can really fully talk that much because they're only half a step ahead of Charlie. Somebody says that mother is one of those mom that if something happens to her son, that he'd be an angel in getting his life together. Yeah, to her, she seems like the type that if the school called her in, she would be like, not my child. My child didn't do that, even though it was totally her child that did that. Let's move on to Yara and Jovi. That baby totally has Jovi's face. Look at that face. This face is Jovi's face. No DNA test required. Now they go to have their immigration like interview. I think it's like a green card interview, which they pass. But I was thinking to myself that they might have just changed her status because rather than, I mean, I don't know whether they can do that or not. It's possible they could, but her status was K1 visa, but they could actually, due to the war in her country, they could actually change her status to refugee or asylum, or grants her asylum due to refugee status or something like that. So they actually might not even have needed to answer all the wedding questions, but either way they passed. She's going to get her green card, and they were telling her that once she has that, she can travel back and forth freely as long as she doesn't stay beyond 6 months outside the United States. So they're happy about that. Jovi was hoping that they could hang out together since they have a babysitter for the day, and Yara wants to meet up with her friends, which, Jovi doesn't really initially want to do that. He kind of just wants to hang with her, but he tags along to go hang with her friends too because, like he said, we have a babysitter. I get to hang out for a day. I can't fault him for that. But his friends, her friends, I call them the Witches of Eastwick. I haven't seen that movie, but it just sounds right. I need to go back and watch that movie. Y'all let me know if anyone has seen The Witches of Eastwick, if it's apropos or whether I'm just using that term out of turn. But this was their faces immediately after Yara excused herself and she went to the bathroom, and Jovi was like, "Did I write down exactly?" Yes, I wrote down his exact words because I said that they gave me clout chaser frenemy vibes, and his exact words were, "Yara hangs with you, and all of you have fake boobs." And I was like, no, he didn't just out of the bag just drop a bomb in the middle of the table like that. Like, Jovi made me laugh. That was hilarious and kind of true. Look at their faces. This says it all. Like, this one in the white jacket is like this MFer. This one here, similar to this MFer, but more, her face looks like she's thinking of a way to get back at him or have a comeback. And in this one, it's like, can you believe he just said that to us? That's the look that she's giving. But yeah, it's like the same thing. It's the fake boobs. It's the bleach blonde hair. There's not a single natural blonde amongst you. These are all bottle blondes, and the extensions too. Some better than others. Like hers, probably the best extensions in the group. Second best, this ponytail is not doing what it's meant to do. This ponytail extension here, but hey, it is a aesthetic. You all seem to have the same aesthetic, and that aesthetic is, I don't know, 90s Barbie. I don't know what you call it, but it's. I see what Jovi's saying. I think it was just a little. He kind of put. I think he was getting from them this whole "I'm better than you" type of vibe, and he was trying to knock them down a peg to say, "Bitch, you're not." And mind you, I'm no fan of Jovi. I think he's got his own issues, but that you got to admit when something is funny. Tony says, I call them mean girls. And Tony says, or maybe Stepford Wives. There was someone on Twitter that agreed with you on the Stepford Wives thing. I'll get to the tweets in a moment. But yeah, I do like some of their styling. I like this outfit here. This picture doesn't do it justice because she had these Dior tights on that looked really cute. I like this one a lot. I like this one except for the top. I feel like if you're doing a short jacket and this, I would have done a top that had more draping to it instead of just a plain white top. Something that kind of draped a little bit, like a cowl or something, just to give it more dimension. And also, if you're wearing pants with belt loops, it's my opinion that you should wear a belt with it. If you do not like belts, your person don't like belts, take this to the tailor and have them remove the belt loops. And then it'll look so much better, look more put together. But I think a gold belt would have looked nice. A nice metallic gold belt. And then I would have done the same with the shirt. Instead of a white shirt, a different color shirt. Maybe a coral. Or if you wanted to do monochromatic, I would make sure that the whites match. Because this is a winter white and this is a bright white. I wouldn't wear winter white with bright white together. But that's just me. Okay, Faux Minky Latte says, why does her friends have a problem with her husband accompanying her to a war zone? They want her to go by herself. They aren't her friends. That's what I'm saying. They're not her friends. I literally wrote I said they gave me clout chaser frenemy vibes. These are not her friends. These are hangers on because she's on television and they want to be on television too. They are not her friends. Your friends wouldn't even encourage you to go to a war torn country. Your friends would encourage you to figure out how to get your family out of there and over here or to the next safest destination, which would be somewhere in Europe because America isn't the most safe place. Like we go around thinking we're safe, but like literally you could get shot in a grocery store, a movie theater, a school, a park, where else am I? Mall. Like this, you're running out of places to shoot people at here. But I'm just saying, it's slightly safer than a war zone. Let's see here. Tony Man says, here's the fashion part of fashion. I can't help it, even though I'm very disillusioned with fashion. I've told you this before. I YouTube doesn't allow me to change my channel name. So it's like it's permanently that. Like I can change the channel name and the title, but when you put in the URL, it'll still always come up Fashion Freak Television. So I just left it. I'll have to find some other way to work fashion into it. Maybe I will regain my love for it, but right now I'm so disillusioned with fashion in the fashion world that I mean, it's still in me to talk about it, but I feel away. Let me mute. Sorry about that. I didn't want to cough into the microphone. Okay, do I have anything else here? Oh yeah, they think that Jovi is controlling, and he thinks that Yara listens too much to the three amigas. And again, it's not controlling to want to make sure that your wife and child is safe. And he didn't tell her what she could and couldn't do. He was just saying what he would like her to do or what he wouldn't like her to do. And what he would like her to do is wait until he has time off from work to travel with her. I don't think that's an unreasonable request at all. Um, she is she says that they can't tell her what to do because she's her own person, but I do feel like she's very influenced by them. Because even with the boob thing, like she told them that Jovi told her that her boobs look bad, which we found out that he didn't say they look bad. He said they look different, which happens when people have children. But he said he still likes them. It was these three that were trying to talk her into getting implants, not Jovi. So I do feel like she's kind of influenced by them. And it's odd that all your friends look alike. Like it feels click. I always side eye people whose friend groups all look alike because it's telling me that you don't like anyone who's different from you. It's very weird. My friends all look very different from each other. They're from different places. They like different things. They're just individuals. We have things in common, obviously, that we can, commiserate about. But it would look weird if I was walking around with two other or three other women that look just like me. That's some weird ish. That's me though. Phil Mickey Lighty said, I don't even watch runway shows anymore. Yeah, same. I used to watch, I mean, all through high school. Well, at, let me preface this by saying I went to high school during the time of the height of the supermodels. So when I was in high school, we would go and get the Vogue magazines and Elle and Marie Claire and Mademoiselle, and we would look for those pictures. Excuse me. And we would see Naomi Campbell. Iman was still modeling at that time. We would see Linda Evangelista, Cindy Crawford, Claudia Schiffer. Tyra was around, but she was more Sports Illustrated. She did do some runway, but not as much as like Naomi or Iman or Beverly Johnson was still modeling at that time too. Even though she was more 80s, she was still around. I think even Christy Brinkley was still around doing more commercial modeling. But yeah, we would watch those runway shows. I remember they used to have a channel called Fashion TV. I think, or was it a show? It might have been a show on E Entertainment that went for an hour or so, and it would just play the runway shows and Paris and Milan, and then later they would start showing the shows in Japan. They always showed in New York, and now I just feel like it's you. If you've watched the movie Zoolander and you see Mugatu, Everyone is Mugatu now. Everyone is Mugatu. And my favorite designer passed away last year, unfortunately. That was Terry Mugler. And he was more of an artist who worked with wearable art, is what I would call it. He was more of an artist that created wearable art than a fashion designer. But anyways, let me stop being sidetracked by that. I will say this, the last great fashion show that I saw was probably 2005 or 6. Hussein Chilean had a great fashion show where he had made all his clothes were like animatronic. So like they unzip themselves or they transform from one dress into another dress. It was really cool. It was that was the last cool fashion show I think I saw was Hussein Chilean. Okay. Tonyman says, I do agree with Jovi on that. What's the rush? She's not Captain Ukraine. She's not going to stop a war from happening. She can wait 3 weeks. Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're going to get over there and do what? Be trapped, be, in you have a little bit of money, but it's not the type of money to get you in and out of there like that. Like, I don't know what she thought she could. I get where her heart is at. Her heart is absolutely in the right place, but her mind is not thinking logically. All right, let's get to the last couple that was on here. No, I'm sorry, second to last. We have 2 more couples. My bad. Shida and Bilal, and you see that sigh whenever I have to say Bilal. I really can't. As the saying goes, he makes my ass itch. I just don't like this man. I want to punch him in the freaking throat. It's so annoying. And they start out with us showing us Shaida brushing her teeth and her tongue maniacally, like. We got a glimpse into her psychosis. Like, that's not even. She said that the dentist had to tell her to not brush her teeth so hard because she was ruining her enamel. So then she decided to focus on her tongue. And Bilal has told her that she's probably brushing off her taste buds. I don't know how true that is, but it just, watching her do this, it hurt my gums watching it. And I have a tongue scraper. Everyone should have a tongue scraper because you can carry bacteria on your tongue. So it's important to brush your teeth and your tongue, but not, I don't know, to the level that Shida's doing it. That's a little bit obsessive, but hey, it is what it is. So they go to before that, she calls her friend Utris, and they talk about Bilal not wanting children. And Utris is, trying to hip Shida to the game. I don't know if you could hear that in the background, but there's people reacting to the Black Panther trailer, which I've already seen, and I'm already got tickets to go see it in November, so it's going to be everything. But that's what you're hearing in the background, people reacting to the Black Panther trailer. What was I going to say? Utris is trying to hip Shida to Bilal, but Shida is like talking to a brick wall. It's like no purpose in even trying to tell her what's up because she's going to do what she's going to do. And I'm putting her in the same category as Michael, same category as Usman, same category as Liz. Y'all know what you got into. You're well past grown. All these people are in their 30s. None of these people are 22, 23 years old. You are in your 30s. That's grown. I can't be bothered to, give warnings anymore because you not only can you know from your experience, you literally have a whole program to rewind and watch back everything from outside of yourself, from the outside of the situation, looking at what's happening. And if you still don't see it, I mean, there's nothing we can do for you. There really isn't. I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do for you. So they go to a fertility specialist who I called Dr. Botox McFiller guy because his skin was smoother than mine at 12 years old. Like, dude, your skin, I don't know whether there was a laser resurfacing job, but your dermatologist is working overtime and it didn't look bad. I have to admit, it did not look bad. The only thing that made it look a little uncanny valley is I know that I'm looking at a person that's probably 55 to 60 years old, but their skin is so smooth and it feels like there should be something there. At a certain age, you should have something there. Otherwise, it looks a little bit, like I said, uncanny valley-ish. So anyways, Dr. Botox McFiller guy tells them that after speaking to Shida about her cycle, which she says is only 21 days apart, he says, well, since your cycle is this close together, I think it would be prudent for you to get started on trying to have a baby immediately or as soon as possible. So Bilal sits there. Let me put this picture up and says, so you're saying we should wait 2 years? That is absolutely nothing that that doctor said. Absolutely like I don't even understand how your brain works. That's what you heard when that's not what the doctor said. Like he really thinks he can mind F people, but he's not smart enough to do it. Not even in the least slightest bit. It's just Tony says, I tried Google brushing too hard and losing taste buds and couldn't find anything that can happen. Yeah, I figured it was BS because of who it was coming from. Here's a hint. If you see this area moving, most likely it's BS coming out of it with these with big old horse chompers he has. I think that's all I wrote about them. I wrote more about the doctor's dermatologist than about Bilal and Shida. It's just why does he think that this is good? Is it a Napoleon Dynamite thing where it's just there's no self-awareness? Like, you know, that scene in Napoleon Dynamite when the kids are like, tell us what you did last summer, Napoleon. And he's talking about trapping or fighting a liger. That's what Bilal gives me. Like he has no self-awareness to know that no one believes you. Even Shida doesn't believe you, but she just her self-esteem is so much in a gutter that she thinks this is the best she can do. It's the only way I can explain it. It's the only way I can explain it. There's other Muslim men in the world. I guarantee you, there's other Muslim men in the world. This is not the only one. Like literally. It's Fomiculite says Bilal don't want no more kids. No, he doesn't, because he says he sees everything in terms of money, and children cost money. That's all he sees is that they are something that will cost him money, which he doesn't have a lot of. As much as he likes to pretend that he does have a lot of money, he doesn't have a lot of money, because people who have a lot of money don't worry about money as much as this dude worries about money. So that tells me he doesn't have a lot of money. All right, let's get to, so I can get this face out of my face. Usman and Kimbali with the picture of, I will never not laugh at the picture of Usman on her shirt. And even Usman has his own entertainment company on his shirt. It's just, I should have gotten a newer picture, because I'm now noticing on this picture, Usman still has the braids, and he's since cut his hair. Hold on, I'm going to start coughing again. Okay, it's going to be a struggle to make it to 5 o'clock, but I'm going to make it to 5 o'clock and then get myself some hot tea. I think this is just a bad allergy day for me, because I feel it. My eyes are watering. My throat is itchy, and I keep coughing because of post-nasal drip. Yeah, bad allergy day, but we're going to get through it. Tony Man says, so you're saying Bilal should get a job in a bull's ass because he's a bullshit artist? The last statement is said in Greasy Strangler lingo. Yes, bullshit artist. And I'm not bleeping that because, like, I don't. This channel's not monetized, and it likely will never get monetized. So it is what it is. I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say. Yeah, I need a new picture then, because Usman has cut his hair now, which I do like the newer haircut. I think it suits his face better. I wish he would shave this up, because this on the sides here, you're in your 30s. It's not going to grow in. It's never going to grow in. So just shave that off. Keep the goatee if you like to have a little facial hair, but this patchy man, homeless beard on the side, get rid of that. It's never going to fill in. It looks crazy. Okay, so we get to the nightclub, and Usman, oh, I should have taken a video of that. I should have taken my phone and screen recorded Usman dancing in the mirror. It was like he was trying to imitate how Black American rappers dance. The young ones, the ones that are like, you know, in their 20s, that's what it was giving. But, you know, the producers made sure they got a little bit of a footage of that. And then Usman takes Kimberly to the club with him and introduces her to his team, like his producers, the audio engineer, and this young lady who is working in PR. And Kimberly does apologize to the gentleman that was there when she threw the milkshake. So to her credit, she did apologize. She took him to the side and she apologized for her behavior, which automatically puts her at least a step above Angela, because I don't think Angela has ever apologized for anything she's ever done on this show. At least not to my memory. If y'all recall Angela apologizing, let me know in the comments. I don't recall her ever apologizing, but Kimberly actually does have the I guess the thought process that she knows when certain things that she's done is not a good look. So she did apologize. And she's having a great time until Ali shows up. This is Ali with the beautiful twists in her hair. And she kind of makes Kim feel a type of way, because Kim says she is beautiful and young, and says that she is everything that Kim is not. And I was surprised that she said it aloud. That's very self-aware for Kim to say that aloud. But I do think that she should get therapy for that, because if every time a beautiful young lady comes by you feel some type of way, you definitely need to work on that, because that's no way to live life, especially as you're getting older. We all get older. We all are going to somewhat lose our luster, but I don't want to make young girls feel bad. And Kim, to her credit, actually did not. Like, she had a normal conversation with this young lady, which I'm glad. And the young lady is beautiful. Like, look at her face. Look at this face. That is just beautiful bone structure, eye shape, everything. Very, very beautiful young lady. Wait, I skipped one. Fomikilati says, Kim got to stop getting jealous around every woman Usman come in contact with. Exactly. It's not a good look. And Tony says, was that the girl that Soulja Boy wrote about in the song? No, that is not Zara. Zara is an American girl, and she's a little bit thicker than this. It's still a pretty girl. Zara's very pretty, but she's more thicker than what was this young lady's name? I wrote it down. Ali. Her name is Ali. Yeah. I think what would also help Kim is if she had a better positive self-image. I was thinking to myself that if you gave me 2 days and $500, I could hook Kim up. I really think I could. I think, number one, shapewear. We got to get this midsection, and that's only a like, I don't think shapewear should be a permanent thing. I think shapewear is great to wear, for an occasion, but I think it's best to work on, like, to use physical exercise to work on that part of the body, because there's been medical studies that say that the more weight you carry in your midsection, the less healthy it is for your organs. So women who gain their weight in their hips and their chest are actually much more lucky than women who gain their weight in their midsection, just medically. I don't think lucky as in, lifestyle wise, but medically they tend to have less problems with, like, their liver or their, kidneys, their internal organs, that type of thing. So that's very, very important. Something I'm working on myself. Because I have that type of body type that gains weight in the middle. The arms and legs will stay skinny, and the midsection will just keep growing and growing. So that's something that I myself am working on. But shapewear can definitely help you in situations like, if I was going to go to a nightclub like this one, don't think I wouldn't put on. I have not just I'm not talking about just like the what do you call them? The body shapers that are just like elastic shorts and stuff. No, I'm talking about old school. I have two of them, very nice old school corsets with the boning in it and the lace. Those will snatch that waist up like nobody's business. I'm telling you, there's no substitute for that old school corset. That will snatch that waist in. Don't snatch it too far in, because you can, you can pass out, because you have to be able to breathe. You got to be able to breathe. So don't snatch it too much in. New hairstyle. I would definitely do something that would frame her face more, because I think having her hair pulled back actually is taking away from her look. I would probably do something that frames her face a little bit more. She has curly hair. Curly hair looks great when it's layered. And I actually wouldn't cut it as short. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean your hair has to be this short. You can still have longer hair if that's what suits your face. If long hair suits your face, then keep your long hair. You don't have to. A lot of women have this thing where they turn 40 and I gotta cut all my hair off. Why? Who told you that? It's a lie. It's a lie. You don't have to cut off your hair because you're 40. That's stupid. What else? Oh, concealer. We would do some concealer. I know I have dark circles around my eyes right now as well because I have no makeup on, except for I did fill my eyebrows in a little bit because if I don't, you won't be able to see on my camera and I'll look like I have no eyebrows. So I did fill my eyebrows in and I put on some lip gloss and jumped on this camera. But that's only because I'm doing a cosplay later and I needed my face to be empty to start fresh because I'm recording on my other channel. But I do know my way. As you can see, without the makeup, I have dark circles, but I know how to cover these dark circles and I know how to cover hers. But I would also send her to a dermatologist just to get her skincare, good, because I think a lot of this, the puffiness underneath here, I'm sure there's things that they can give her, creams and things that can take down that puffiness. I think that, and maybe some laser resurfacing. I wonder if she's a smoker because her teeth looked like she might be a smoker, and that will dry your skin out and prematurely wrinkle you like nobody's business. But I definitely would get her on a skincare regimen. I would teach her a little bit about makeup and how to enhance. Even if you are not a makeup person, you're not like, oh, I'm not a glam girl. There's ways you can use makeup just to minimize your things that take away from your appearance and play up things that add to your appearance. I think I could hook that lady up. I really think I could. Did I say laser skin rejuvenation already? Because I think that could be a thing too. But let's see here. We have a couple more comments and I'm gonna get to the tweets. Let's see here. I read that one. This one, Tony says, still waiting for you to experience the sugar-free sodas and creamers, life changers. Yes. I am going to start doing that as well. That's going to be the hardest thing is kicking sugar. You don't understand. Sugar is so addictive. It's so hard to kick. It's so hard to kick. Tony says, see, it's just natural for you to talk about fashion. It's a strong suit for you, and I enjoy it. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. Sometimes I feel like I'm boring people when I talk about fashion, especially since I'm not, particularly dressed up right now. I'm still wearing my pandemic outfits, which are mostly workout clothes. But I did iron my clothes last week. Well, before we got hit with the storm in Florida, I ironed my fall clothes, and I decided, oh well, I better start, looking fashionable again, start wearing actual clothes again, because like I said, I've been in my. It's like once the pandemic hit, I just started wearing athleisure wear is what we would call it, but it's mostly yoga pants, sweatsuits, stuff like this. This is zip up, workout sweatshirts type of thing. That's what I've been wearing all pandemic, and like it actually feels almost uncomfortable for me to put my jeans on again because I've been so used to wearing stretchy clothes. So I have to really get back into wearing clothes again. And also my wigs. I haven't worn my wigs in a while, and because you've seen in my default picture on this channel that I typically wear different color hair. I got to get back into that. Okay, Fomiculata says, why they acting as if Usman ain't already married, so she would be the second wife. Haven't heard of him getting divorced. That is a good point, Fomiculata. I don't know if he divorced baby girl Lisa. We didn't hear anything about the divorce. So it is possible that he did not or has not divorced baby girl Lisa. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? That's something that is an excellent point. Fomiculata says, Sig zap the calcium out of your bones too. I didn't know that. Right? I did know about the dehydration of your skin and everything. But yeah, so just don't smoke cigarettes. It's not even worth it. Don't even get started. If you're younger and you're watching this, don't ever even pick up a cigarette. It's not worth it. Aside from, the cancer. All right, let's get into some tweets. Let me stop sharing this. Let me make sure I don't have any other images. Do I? Nope, don't have any other images. So let me stop sharing this screen. And I'm sharing this one. Here we go. Fomiculati says, I've been trying to think of a hairstyle that would look good on Kim. I would, if I was good with Photoshop, I would put different wigs on her to see. But I definitely feel like larger hair would suit her because she has kind of a long face, and pulling the hair back is not working. It's making her face too long. So definitely something with bangs, because I think adding bangs would shorten her face so it wouldn't look quite as long. And I think a lot of women think that as they get older, they can't have bangs. You can have bangs. It just has to be cut a certain way. Like you can't have, what's her name's bangs in 90 Day UK? Victoria, not those type of bangs. Those are children's bangs. I think Victoria could still have bangs, but not quite as straight across. Like, actually, I think her bangs aren't meant to be straight. I think they're actually supposed to come to a point like this, but they never really are sitting like that because I don't think she uses hairspray to make them sit like that. They always look a little bit disheveled. All right, let's get into these tweets. Okay, blocked by Big Ed, the Mucinex Snot says, Shina needs to focus less on her teeth and more on using her vocal cords to stand up to that narcissistic asshole she's married to. Shabuti says, first thing these fools do after landing in Nigeria is smoke cigs in the bathroom. I can't even speak anymore. And they, they're them saying, cheers, let's do this. And I've never seen anyone toast with a cigarette before, but that these are besties because even though they only known each other for a year, they're wearing matching eyelashes, matching nails, and matching cigarettes. Jean-Luc Picard says, spin-off hunters have a lot to say about Andre. If it wasn't for him and Libby's relationship, none of you would be on my screen. And they have a, face palm emoji there. Shout out to Jean-Luc Picard. 90 Day Beyonce says, why do they remind me of them so much? And put Angela and Renee and then Marge's sisters. I don't know what Marge's sisters' names are, but Marge Simpson's sisters on there. Violet Brown says, Renee running around with a spoiled American smoking in bathrooms. But when Angela mentions jail, she remembered she was still black. And on the screen, it has a picture of Angela and Renee saying, we're not going in no jail. John Picard says, TLC, can we get the interns from Wardrobe to play Yara's friends? Saying that's what TLC was planning on. These women are too old to be interns. RIP Marshmallow says, Kimberly's mood shifted so quick once that beautiful African queen walked in. 3 crying face emojis. Yeah, she was all, when it was just her and a bunch of dudes, she was all smiles. But as soon as that lady walked in, yeah, whole face changed. Violet Brown says, Gaslighters Anonymous meeting. John Rodrigo says, is this the episode where Angela trashes Michael's car? Yes, it is. It was. And apparently that's not even where it ends. When we got the little bumper that shows us, no pun intended when I say bumper, for next episode, that the drama continues and he might actually end up calling the police on her. Don't know. But he was very, very upset. This is a cute graphic showing what looks to be kind of like a sumo wrestler tearing a car apart in some video game. Don't know what video game it is, but yeah, it's a good representation of what Angela was trying to do. Carrie Zombie says, I just imagine opening one of Angela's suitcases and seeing this. And it's a photograph of Marlboro cigarettes, cartons of them stacked up. Wrigley the Rottweiler says, considering she's been married twice, she's under 30 and is engaged to a man 30 years older than her who has broken up with her 8 times in a year. Perhaps Liz needs to take a break and learn to love herself. After that phone call, she should have been gone. Tony says that video game is Street Fighter. Oh, I did not know that. I used to play Street Fighter, but I don't remember anyone being able to tear up a car. I didn't know that was a thing you could do in the game. Big Ed's Neck says things I never wanted to hear for 500, Alex. And I'm going to play this audio. My clitoris is on fire. My clitoris is on fire. My clitoris is on fire. Don't need to hear that multiple times. We'll stop right there. But Twitter for the win. I knew they were going to record that. John Rodrigo says, on today's episode, Liz's grandmother will be played by current 90 Day cast member Mama Debbie in a wig and hat. Liz's grandmother did sound identical to Debbie. If you weren't looking at a screen and you were only listening, she sounded just like Debbie, same voice, even the same slurring. Phil Micheletti says, Renee said, who the F is we? I can see her running if he did call the police. Yep, I would too. I wouldn't be there to begin with. I would not be there with Angela acting a fool because I am of a certain age. I've progressed since middle school and high school. I'm not doing those things. And then this is on my other account. I had retweeted. Jojo said, every time I see Bilal, I want to throat punch him so bad. And I retweeted him from my other account. Me too. This is exactly what I would want to do to Bilal. Like I could not date that dude. I would end up in jail for. See, I just finished saying how I'm at an age where I don't want to be involved in any high school shenanigans. But if I were in the vicinity with that man, it would be very, very difficult to keep myself from punching him in the throat. He brings out the violence in me, and that's not good. High Flash Honey says, this fool knows he's neutered. Michael Hoffman says, Bilal is forever a condescending asshole. And this is the tweet I was talking about, Tony Man. Caress says, it's giving Stepford when you called them the Stepford wives. Tony Man says, the same slurring, LOL, probably the same Natty Ice as well. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had Natty Ice. I've seen them before. I don't recall ever tasting one. It's the same thing with Zima. I've heard of Zima, seen it before, never tasted it. I have tasted Four Loko. Not the best. Reality TV Junkie says, the gynecologist saw right through Bilal's BS and is trying really nicely to tell Shida to have that serious conversation with his ass ASAP. I agree. Lola always says Bilal can't control if she gets postpartum or not. He needs to stop using that as an excuse not to have a baby. This is true because he did mention, oh, what if she gets postpartum? As if that has anything to do with age. A woman 19 years old can get postpartum. A woman 49 years old can get postpartum. It's not something that anyone can predict or stop. You can only treat it once it's presented itself. Toyman says, you forgot how Bilal mentioned the state line. I bet that, that condescending BS. Driving in the car, he says, that right there is the state line. So on this side is one state, and on that side is the other state. And I would be like, if you don't stop talking to me, like I'm a effing, see, the Gen X almost stepped out of me. We're not allowed to say the R word anymore, but you know what I was thinking. I didn't say it. Where was I? Yes, it did make me go off. I could not sit there and let this man. She has zero self-esteem at all. Like I've never seen a living doormat before. I just didn't know. I didn't think that was a thing that existed. This girl is a living, walking, talking doormat, and she just allows this man to talk to her any kind of way. I don't understand it. Hey, if that's what she likes, then, it's not for me to get in her way. Go ahead, be his doormat. Let him clean the bottom of his shoes off on your face. I don't care. Queen of the Kraken says, doctor, this is what the doctor is saying. Your short cycle and your age make it harder to conceive. The longer you wait, the higher the risk. Bilal, so we should wait. I mean, if you don't care about your wife's health and happiness, then sure, you should wait. Bilal's face is so punchable. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I wonder if he's on some type of spectrum. I mean, he needs to be tested. Because if he's unconsciously doing these things and he's on some type of spectrum, that's one thing. But if he's just an a-hole, that's another thing entirely. I don't know which it is. Ed's Big Nick says, Bilal, so you think we should wait before testing and revealing I had a vasectomy? Yeah. I don't know. The eyes look like maybe this, the lights are on, but no one's home. Could be. I need to see some tests to see if he is non-neurotypical. Because if he's non-neurotypical, then I'll feel really bad for all the stuff I'm saying. But even non-neurotypical people can choose to not be a-holes. I myself am technically non-neurotypical. I have ADHD, which means that my brain does not function the same as other people's brains. So I am non-neurotypical. I have an uncle that is autistic. I have a nephew that is autistic. They aren't purposely a-holes. Bilal kind of is. TLC's leftover baggage says Shida would be better off flying to Nigeria to have a baby with Usman. Bilal don't want a baby. Yeah, and Usman is Muslim and closer to her age range. I said that she, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. Tonyman says 3/4 of the whites of his eyes. Let's go back up. Was it? Not quite 3/4 of the whites of his eyes. So he might be purposely being an a-hole and not technically crazy. Shut Up 90 Day Fiance is on, says, Doc, you should try for at least 6 months, Bilal. So wait 2 years? 2 crying face emojis. Now he knows that manipulative-ish only works on Shida. I don't know why I just edited myself. I've been cursing this whole show, and then I suddenly decided to edit myself. I don't know. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the end of the tweets. Yeah. That's the end of my tweets. And I'm not going to prolong the show because I'm struggling to even get through this without having another coughing fit. And I need to preserve my voice because I really need to record some audio tonight. So I got to take some, see, it's a catch-22. And what I mean is I want to take my allergy medicine, but it will make me too sleepy to do what I need to do. But then I need to take my allergy medicine in order to do what I need to do. You see what I'm saying? It's such a catch-22. It sucks. But let me get out of here. I had a good time talking to y'all. I'm going to this week I'm not doing 90 Day The Single Life because I didn't get a chance to, I won't get a chance to watch it until much later. So I will be a week behind on those, but I will do it next week. I'm still deciding whether I'm going to do it in one show because, as you know, my other channel is What Did I Just Watch? And it focuses mainly on horror, sci-fi, and thriller movies. And this is October, so this is my month to get it cracking on that channel. So depending on how my schedule works out next Monday, you may only get another 90 Day Happily Ever After. If I get the chance to watch The Single Life, I will probably just tack it on to the end of this video and the end of the 90 Day Happily Ever After rather than giving it its own video because I just don't have time to do 2 separate live streams because I also have Hood Podcasts on Monday as well. And it's just, it was fun to do, the 4 live streams in one day, but it's not sustainable for me. So we're going back down to one live stream on Mondays on this channel and 1 live stream on Hood Podcasts, of course. So again, that will be back next Monday at 9 p.m. Sorry, at 9 p.m. on Hood Podcast channel. So I can get away with 2 streams on Monday. Because the rest of the week I've got to record my movie reviews. I have cosplays coming up that I've been working on, and I have a lot of editing. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. Tony Man says, hit the tea and honey, sip, don't gulp. Yes. I might put a little bit of ginger in it too. Because they say ginger helps. So I'm going to make some tea with honey and ginger and a little bit of lemon. And that should help me out a lot. All right, so let me get out of here. Thank y'all so much again for coming through. I appreciate y'all every week. Have a good rest of your week. Keep an eye out for my other channel, What I Just Watched. You can also follow both channels on Instagram. Fashion Freak TV has Instagram and a TikTok, as a matter of fact. And What I Just Watched, both the Instagram and the TikToks are under @HorrorFreak, but the freak is spelled Freq. So definitely check those out. If you're watching this on the replay, Leave a comment so I know that you passed by. Let me know where you're watching from and how your week is going. And anything else you want to say about 90 Day, we continue the conversation in the comments. So I will always keep up with that. And with that, I'm out of here. See you later.